Hello. You guys, we need to talk about remaining friends with your narcissist because there are people I know that do this, and I tried it, and I've been very honest with you, and I'll mention some things again on this video. And there's a reason that we try it, and there's a reason we shouldn't, and well, there's several reasons that we shouldn't, and we're going to discuss those right now. We want to get used to the idea, right, of not being with them. And we convince ourselves sometimes, some of us, that a bridge between being with them 24/7, 365, from going from 100 to 0, maybe you can't handle that idea, so you convince yourselves there'll be a transition, right? So that you're not cutting off at the knees, getting to see their face. Even if you want to punch them in the face, I don't recommend violence. That is a joke. You're not going to see their face anymore. You're used to it. Hear their voice. And to wean us off them, some of us, come up with the brilliant idea that we're going to try to be friends with the narcissist. I'm here to tell you, it's a disaster. Disaster. And they'll agree with it. And the first sign of disaster is that we believe them when they say, well, I guess if that's all I can get from you at this point, I'll take that. Because I'd rather have something from you than nothing at all. Now, what is this friendship going to mean? You're going to talk once a month. He's going to feel free to call you once a week. Are you getting together? Are you having meals? Are you taking coffee together? Are you taking drink together? What kind of friendship are you? What are the definitions, the parameters of this that you have in your mind? Because the first problem is we believe what they said. I'll take anything. That indicates what? They're going to try to get back together with you with their words at every moment that they can, that they're in front of you. Because that's their goal. They don't need you as a friend. You don't need them as a friend. You might, like I said, want to transition. I understand that. But what they're going to do from their perspective is, oh, she's remaining around. I can still try to see if I can get her back to my bench as a bench warmer. I can still work on her. Every time they talk to you, they might bring up a bunch more love bombing. Every time you get together, they might cry on your shoulder of how they miss you. You think you're being a friend because you're not sleeping with them, you're staying away, you're not going on dates, you're not saying I love you, but you're giving them a lot. You're giving the narcissist a lot of opportunity to get back in your brain. And they'll do it. And they'll do it. And it doesn't lead to anything because you've already made a decision. But it could lead to something if you leave the door open to receive said love bombing and give them the time and opportunity to do it. You're talking just once a month like I tried to do? Well, what do you think he was trying to do that once a month? Or whatever it was. Some months he would call me all month long. 50,000 times. And he was blocked. Sometimes when he's not blocked, you can see when they're calling. That's how I knew it was 50,000 times. And then when he was blocked, I could get 50,000 messages and blocked messages. And finally one day, about once a month, I would call him back. What is up? Boom. Door was open for the crying and the love bombing and the come back to me and life is awful without you and I love you and no one's like you in the world and we really need to be together and don't you see, and oh my God. And even though, and the physical part, I don't mean violence, I mean the physical, intimate part can end up being a part of all that. Even if you fall into something and you say to yourself, but it didn't mean anything. But why are we doing all that then? That's going to help you wean off your narcissist? That's not going to help you wean off your narcissist. Rip that Band-Aid off is the way to go. They have every single opportunity they have to love bomb you, they now have to devalue you. And what'll happen is say, okay, so you had coffee this morning, they're going to meet you later for, a meal. Boom, they don't show up. They stop calling you. They disappear again. They're mean to you again out of the blue without you realizing why. They're still the same horrible human being. So their cycle with you has already been developed. They're not going to stop it short and suddenly be your friend. Like other friends you have, that's an impossible notion. And they'll always seek more from you than you probably think you want to give to them. That's going to make for some awkward times where you're going to now fight to not give in. You're going to end up crying. They leave you hanging again. They take off. Now you're, boom, upset again. Whereas if you just weren't trying to be friends with them, you would have saved yourself all that hassle. They're going to have issues with anyone. God forbid you start seeing somebody else. Say you really do want to be friends. And you're like, no, we can be friends, but I'm dating other people. Say you're there. Try seeing somebody else. And they'll have issues if you don't date anybody else. Because they don't feel in control of your life. And you think you feel in control because you are ignoring the phone for all the attempts you see, like I did. I felt I was in control. He keeps calling me, I'm not getting it. I felt I was in control. Blocked him so I didn't have to see, felt I was in control. But I was listening to those voice messages. And I was reading texts that came up on my iPad because my IT department is at college and I have no idea. But somebody told me how. And so now I just forgot to do it. But it's not an issue anymore. But, yeah, I had blocked him. But texts were still coming through on a knife. There's always communication. They can email you. Right? And the thing is, I felt that without even them leaving you hanging again, which they can definitely do, without even them doing that, what is your plan? Do you want them to be a friend that's in your life now? Think that through. What is your plan? Just to wean yourself off? Okay, then wean. Give yourself a week. Not months and months and months and months, like I did. I'm trying to save you the trouble and the anguish that will come with that. They will be lying to you the whole time, trying to get back together with you, not telling you they got 14.27 other people. They'll be making you think, what, they've been alone, home, crying over you? Oh my God. Oh my God. But if you open that door, then you're there listening to that. Remember, they charmed you once. More love bombing, thicker love bombing, while they're trying to be friends, while you're thinking you're just going to be friends with them. They already know that you're someone who they can play with. So they're going to play. They already know how the cycle went with you. What kind of supply you're going to give them. How they're going to react to something they're going to say. If they're going to get what they want from you. Are they going to get a certain amount of attention from you? Can they still make you upset by something? And there will still be triangulation. There will still be fighting and them exerting control. The triangulation is bad when you try to be friends. Them trying to make you jealous with other people that they're with, or, because they can half tell you stuff now, can't they? If you're under the guise of being just friends, it's prime for triangulation. They don't even feel guilty telling you that, well, this girl's emailing me, look at this. They can't really get in trouble, but they can get your dander up. It's ugly. It's really ugly. It's not if you're just now going through the separation and you think, oh, we're going to have breakfast every Sunday, I want you to give all of these things some thought. Because it's heavy, and it can just be pain and pain and pain and pain. So maybe you're trying it right now. You're trying to be friends, and you don't know the parameters, and you haven't defined it. You don't know what it's going to look like. But beware, it's not a great idea. They'll leave in a huff. They'll leave you hanging again. And that control they have over the emotions you'll experience gives them a rush and is terrible for you. You're left a mess again. Because if you're trying to maintain friendship, it might be you leaving the door open because you're not ready to close it. And you're not ready to say goodbye. And you still have hope that they'll change. And you still think if you're their friend, and then that helps prove how loyal you are, and they're going to see the light, and then I'll be right here to pick up the pieces when there's a lot of reasons that you can try to hang around them. Unfortunately, you have to just make the break. There's no transition that I have thought of, come up with, experienced, or tried that worked until I cut it off and made the break. And it was a year or more that it was like this in and out kind of whatever it was. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? For the love of Blanche, what was I thinking? Right? I am floored now when I think of how easy that decision could have been. Is have no transition, make the break, and do not allow them to linger in your life under the guise of friendship. Oh, he's just a friend now. We're not getting together. Maybe you convince yourself he's just a friend because you're not being intimate. Or maybe you're only being intimate but not saying I love you. So you think of it as just intimacy, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just, you know what I mean? Or I'm not saying I love you, or I don't answer him every time he calls, or I'm seeing this person also. It's fine. You'll tell yourself anything. But you know in your heart and mind, you can feel it in your bones if it's not a healthy thing for you to do. And I can tell you I tried everything. Clean break is the way to go.